Let's go to this website, which is called cosmicnovo.com. This so happens to be my website, and here is an error that we get. It says here not secure, and we can see that HTTPS is not working, and it says here your connection isn't private. Attackers might be trying to steal information from cosmicnovo.com, for example, password messages and credit cards, blah 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 blah. The reason it says this is because security certificate has expired. So to make it easy to understand for people who who are just now starting IT, that just means that the certificate or the encryption for the website, you see how it says here HTTPS, and that means S stands for secure, means encrypted. That data is encrypted between the communication of your computer and my website in this case. So any data that you send over the internet, because you have to go, whenever you go to cosmicnova.com or even google.com or any website, all that data transfers and moves from your computer to that destination. And if it's not secured, meaning encrypted where other people can't read it, not just other people, but other computers, right? Because we're talking about computers here. But if somebody is a hacker, they can find a way to intercept that information, and you can prevent that by using a secure website with certificate, what they call a certificate that encrypts data that goes back and forth. So I'm just going to leave it at that, because anything beyond that is web administration. And here there's actual error here that gives you some more information. And I'll just go briefly about it because I don't want to make this confusing to you. And here it says, this first error says here, error ERR, cert date invalid. So what usually means is that my certifications are valid for 3 months. So every 3 months I have to renew these certifications, and I'll show you how this is done. And here is the encryption key, and this is how it just looks like gibberish, and this is what's used to encrypt information that's being sent back and forth between you and my website in this case. Okay, so that's just a simple part of it. So the reason I'm talking about this is because you will get this type of error when it comes to help desk. People will submit tickets and it says this connection isn't private. In some cases, this can be simply resolved by selecting advanced here, and you can just simply say continue to cosmicnovo.com, and it says here unsafe. Now, just because certificate has expired doesn't mean that the data sent back and forth isn't encrypted. All right. The reason it says here that it's invalid because the duration of the certificate is 90 days, and after that it has to be renewed. Otherwise, it's not verified in the sense where you can say it's a valid certificate, meaning whenever you see there is invalid certificate, that means there's something wrong, there's something sketchy going on, or in this case, I simply didn't realize that the certificate expired. So I'm going to renew it and it's going to work fine. So you can bypass it, obviously, by selecting advanced. It might look slightly different on Internet Explorer or Chrome. This is just Edge, so it doesn't matter. So it may look something like this. You may have advanced or more or something else will say here. Select it so it expands, and then you can select continue to cosmicnovo.com, and now it's just going to load it, and it's going to ignore the fact that the certificate itself is expired. Okay? So that's how you bypass this. And sometimes you will get this type of error where you would have a local website that is maintained by your company, and they will just not bother renewing certificates, or they would not verify certificates. So this one is expired and needs to be renewed, but sometimes you'll have certificates that last years and years, but they won't be verified certificates. And for those reasons, people go to different sources to buy certificates for their websites, which is also known domain. Okay? I apologize if I cough sometimes. I have this irritating thing, but I have some tea here and some honey in here to help me with this. Okay. And then we can fix this. Here's my Google Cloud platform. This is where my website is hosted. I have full control of it. I'm using OpenLite virtual machine, which is a Linux machine. And again, I'm not making this too complicated for help desk people. This is just the type of server. It's a Linux server where my website is. This is very beneficial for even help desk to give you an idea of what's going on with these things. So mine is, I have it coded so that it will renew itself after I reboot it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to stop the server like this. And again, I can connect to this using SSH, which means secure shell, and it'll open a browser that looks kind of like DOS, but it's a command line for Linux. And through there, I can do the same thing. But for this session, I'm just going to stop it through the console, and then I'm just going to restart it. Then we're going to go back, and then I'm going to refresh, and you'll see that certificate has been renewed. However, if you don't have it coded the way I do, where it automatically will do it for you, then you'll have to install a certificate through the command line. All right, instance stopped. I'm going to start it again. And remember how I talked about DNS in the previous video? By the way, check out the previous videos if you haven't. Here is the external IP address. So instead of people typing in 34.123.254.31, they can just type in cosmicnovo.com. That's how DNS works. That's the point of why you would have DNS, which is the main name system that does this for you. You don't have to remember the IP address. All right, looks like it has started. So we're here again. See, it says HTTPS. So I'm going to refresh it. And once it refresh, it will show a secured, well, it may take a little bit to replicate. Just a moment. Cosmicnovo.com. Here it is. So it actually remembered the cookies in there. That's what happened. And now connection is secure because I've renewed the certificate on it. So in case you have to contact the web admin, then you would do that. Just let them know that there's an issue, and then that's how you resolve it.